Big shout out to Miami City Directory, which is on the chat today. He said he took it slow this weekend and did no work. All right, man. You know, sometimes taking a break and relaxing and really rejuvenating yourself, that's work. That should be included in someone's schedule every once in a while. You've heard it here first, guys. Include lots of rest in your schedule. It doesn't always have to be hard work. Well, the reason why I'm going live today, apart from doing the show every single Monday at 10:30 a.m., is to show you what I've learned during the week so that I can stay active and share with you the kind of stuff. And maybe we can have a discussion. You can always visit miaminetworking.com and leave a comment on a blog or leave a comment on this YouTube video and subscribe and do all that good stuff. Let's get connected, especially if you're a local professional here in Miami, because the reason I do this is to get acquainted, to see what Miami is all about, and hopefully I can assist the city in getting to the next level. In my particular strength is building online businesses from scratch, you know, nothing too expensive, hit the ground running and just scale it from there. That's what I've been specializing in it for about 7 years. And I'm a lifelong learner. Like, I love learning every day. It's kind of like this weird thing that I've learned about myself. I'm a lifelong learner. That's what I've learned about myself. Perhaps in 2015 is when I really started seeing my lifestyle change based on the things that I've been studying and the gurus that I've been studying and the mentors and the networks and the books. Like, I just bought a brand new bookshelf and I'm adding a whole bunch of books. I mean, granted, I've only read like 40% of the books I bought on Amazon, but it looks nice. You know, it's a nice decoration to have in the room. And this week, I wanted to share with you this thing that I was thinking about, and I couldn't stop thinking about it because there was so many pieces of information I came across that kind of reinforced this. And I wanted to go on live. You know, I couldn't wait till Monday came around to show you this presentation on that the internet is not being used to its fullest capabilities. As a matter of fact, it's probably going to grow faster than you think, especially now since we're all stuck indoors. We're using up all those servers. We're getting on the internet. We're accessing information at a faster and faster pace, and now at a global scale. So I came up with the conclusion that we're not using the internet to its fullest capabilities. And to start off this presentation, I'd like to go ahead and just mention that I went on this website and I started looking at the most at the most visited websites in the entire internet. And, you know, the top 10, you know, the obvious ones: Google, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. I forget the rest, but I know that the bottom 3 were porn sites. So the top 10, 3 are porn sites, and the top 5 or 6 are social media sites. So keep that in mind. That's already like 9. Okay. 9 out of 10 websites are basically already dominated by a specific kind of social media channel or a vice of some sort. Okay. And this is in all of the internet. Oh, I know the other one. It's Baidu, which is the Google alternative to China. Okay. So keep in mind that statistical research shows that the internet is dominated by a handful of websites, particularly in the vice and social media landscape. And every time I think about the ways that we can use the internet, my mind gets blown, because an idea with the tools that are available to communicate with people is more accessible than ever. We get ideas all the time. Think about the last time you had an idea. Were you out running? Were you having a drink with a friend? We get it all the time. And there's tools on the internet that you can use to communicate that idea to masses of people. All right. So when it comes to communication, that's probably one of the most important things that you can do in your entire life: communicating your passions, your ideas, what you want to accomplish. You can get communication from someone else and it can impact your life. It makes a difference. Getting information from other people makes a difference. Okay, running out of batteries already early in the morning on Instagram. Apologize for that. So when it comes to getting information, we can all make a difference by sharing it immediately with others. Hence why I go live and try to share with you the stuff that I've learned so that we can share in the discussion. Furthermore, you can do things like sharing ideas. You can heal people. I know coaches that use the internet, people in the virtual landscape do consulting. There's masterminds. You can inspire someone. You can answer someone's question. I know Quora is becoming a huge website now where it's like Q&A for the masses. You can express solidarity, etc. Okay, so these are some of the beneficial things that you can communicate on the internet. And, you know, recently with the Black Lives Movement and everybody getting on the virtual landscape and sharing their thoughts at the same time is one of the most powerful things that you can do on the internet, okay? Whether you agree with the controversy that occurred or not, it was still a massive movement in humanity to share the thought, and everybody was doing it at the same time, meaning it was impossible to ignore. Everybody had that conversation at the same time. So on the internet, everybody's having their own conversations. You've got one here, you've got one there, right? And it's like millions of people talking, maybe even billions, okay? But what occurred in early June was everybody was having the conversation, and it was mostly done online, where most people even posted the black square to amplify or highlight the message that was being discussed. Now, this is one of the most powerful things that the internet can do for us. Everybody in the discussion, everybody is talking about the same thing, so it's impossible to ignore. And secretly, people want to be led. People want to have some sort of path or a direction that someone is guiding them in. That's why you see community forums and discussions being had on Reddit. And sometimes you see a Facebook post with thousands of comments in it. People want someone to organize a discussion in a way that leads to a direction. And secretly, people, they don't know they want to be led. No one is out specifically looking for a leader. However, when a leader finds them and the communication is effective, they'll go in that path. They'll follow the leader because the leader is what is brightening up the way. Like, I didn't know I can resonate with someone so well, and now I have a group, and now I feel like I belong. Okay? And with that being said, I'd like to go ahead and point out this thing called Moore's Law, or Kurzweil's law of accelerating returns. Now, they're more or less the same theory. The Moore's Law says that transistors in a microchip. What's going on, Kevin Purcelli? Welcome to the chat. So the transistors in a microchip double every few years, every 2 years or something like that. And then what Kurzweil's law says that every time there's a technological barrier, when we cross it, we exponentially get to the next level. So growth kind of becomes like a hockey stick. If you look at it at a graph, it becomes a hockey stick effect where it just keeps accelerating faster and faster. And technology is coming at us in such a fast way that, you know, us as humans, we're trying to catch up. And then, you know, if you go down further into Kurzweil's law of accelerating returns, eventually the singularity, where the robots awaken and become part of society, and, you know, the whole story. So keep in mind that since technology is accelerating so quickly, you have the ability to access the technology without being a tech savvy kind of person. Every day, it feels like when something is released or a new app is released or some sort of, I don't know, something that helps me automate something on my website, every time those things are released, those become tools that I can use to grow my business or to communicate with people. So for example, this stream that you're watching, I'm using a streaming service that multiplies the stream to multiple channels. Now, when Facebook introduced live stream, it was one stream at a time. It's either you go on Periscope with your phone and on Twitter and you go live, or you go on YouTube to go live, or you go on Facebook to go live. Now you can go live on all the channels at the same time. So you're combining that new technology with the live streaming technology. And now there's a morning show every Monday with my face in it, showing you what I learned. Okay, so we're seeing Kurzweil's law of accelerating returns right now, doing this video right now. Okay, so you too can come across these tools, put them together in ways that other people aren't using it, and then do something even cooler so that you can catch up to the acceleration of the technology. Okay, and one of the cool things that Tony Robbins recently did is using the example that I just mentioned, combining technology to do something great. So Tony Robbins did Unleash the Power Within, which is one of his more popular programs where he does a live event. And I don't know if you've ever been to Tony Robbins Unleash the Power Within, but it's this big rock star kind of like motivation presentation, and you get to know yourself and you share the joys with the people next to you. And he did this. What he did was he got a bunch of laptops and he connected all the laptops in the back room. And then every laptop ran a Zoom call. And then the Zoom calls were projected in this like 360 room of projectors showing all these Zoom faces. And there were over 22,000 people on a Zoom call watching Tony Robbins do Unleash the Power Within. There were over 140 countries involved. So he combined his event, which was done in person. You had to wait till he came to town, okay? And then he combined Zoom. And then he put those together. And then now he's presenting to 22,000 people in the comfort of his own studio. Incredible. So this is Kurzweil's law of accelerating return. This is Moore's law happening right now because of necessity. And this is a spectacular feat. So big shout out to Tony Robbins for doing such a great job here. And over the weekend, I believe it was on Saturday, you guys should check out this show. It's called History 101. It's on Netflix. And recently, hey, Zed Denny, welcome to the chat. And recently, I came up with the speculation. I saw the episode about China and the economy of China and how eventually the Chinese, I think it was the second episode of the first season, the economy in China will most likely overcome the American economy this decade. And the reason why is because China has been specializing in, counterfeit goods, exporting those counterfeit goods, tangible things. And then now, I believe they mentioned something around that they use more cement in a year than America did in a whole century or something like that. I forget the stats, but an example is China is using more cement than America to build structures. Okay, so they're globalizing at a very fast scale so that they can get their tangible goods into other countries quickly. So, they're connecting trade routes via the sea, and they're connecting trains from China all the way to Europe so that they can get these goods out at a quicker and quicker pace. So they're ramping up their economy to globalize as fast as possible. And recently, this wasn't covered in the media often, but it's something that I'd like to point out. So the USMCA was signed on July 1st, and Trump partnered with the Trump cabinet signed a document that allows America to partner with Mexico and Canada. And it's kind of like an update to NAFTA, where the trades open up, free trades and things like poultry, labor unions, intellectual property rights, all these kinds of things that allows our North American economy to thrive in comparison to what's happening in the global economy. So with that being said, the tangible world, the physical world is the tangible world is quickly accelerating to become globalized, where a local economy will now become a global economy. Everybody's on the run, okay? Everybody's trying to connect faster and faster in the physical world, okay? However, there's a little opening that I was speculating on, that in China, the internet is very censored. A lot of people can't go past a certain barrier of a firewall in China, meaning China can't use things like Google or Facebook, almost to the point where China has to create its own social network for the people of China to network, meaning they can't go over to other countries when it comes to the internet, okay? And that's how they keep their government informed, right? That's how they enforce it, by not allowing its citizens to go outside the firewalls to connect with others. So there's a lot of censorship going on, and this is an advantage. Okay, so China's globalizing, but not in the virtual landscape. So the virtual landscape is wide open right now for people to go in and actually economize it And you can even make your own economy in it because there's no government, at least not yet. There's no borders in the virtual economy. All right. So it's wide open for you to do whatever you want in it. You can build an online business. You can do gaming. You can do streaming. You can sell e-commerce, whatever you want. But right now, since it's opening up, it leaves unlimited possibilities for the economy to, boom, pretty much virtually, meaning not tangible. And one thing that I would say before I end this presentation is keep an eye out and defend net neutrality. So I made this shirt about 2 or 3 years ago. It was Atlas holding the world, and it says World Wide Web, and he's got a little belt that says net neutrality. So I'm an advocate to defend net neutrality because you don't want like corporations putting their hand into net neutrality and preventing us from building our economies online. Okay, because imagine what that can do. You have to pay extra to run an online business, or you've got to speed up your internet access to a certain website. If net neutrality is taken away, people are going to start profiting off our profits. So it's probably going to be things like taxes plus internet tax and that whole thing. So make sure you keep an eye out for net neutrality and defend it as much as you can so that it stays in place. There was a certain time in 2017, I believe, where they were trying to take it out. It was repealed, I believe. So keep an eye out and make sure that you go out and defend it. All right, and that is the end of the presentation, guys. Again, I'm Manny Garavito. I'm from MiamiNetworking.com. I do online business coaching. I offer marketing services, and I also do exclusive content for our members. So if you're interested in this kind of stuff, make sure you visit MiamiNetworking.com and join our newsletter. And I'll see you guys next week. And I hope you guys have a great week. All right, every Monday, 10:30 a.m. I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.